What is going on YouTube? Hitman making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. We're also going to be looking at DueDEX as well as the current coin market cap. In today's video specifically, I want to focus on the very interesting, basically sideways movement that the markets are starting to see. As we know, this tends to represent a form of big volume coming. We've known this for the past couple of years, honestly, as we've gotten better, together in cryptocurrency. We've learned these sort of techniques and little quirks that the market tends to have, and we've learned to develop that they could merely be representing big bullish movements and big corrections when we see sideways volume. So that's what I want to discuss in today's video. Specifically, we're starting to see this within Bitcoin. You can see at the top right now, we're really not getting that big movement, those big thick candles. We're getting a ton of wicks. So that's what I want to discuss in depth with you guys. Otherwise, if you are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. Remember to follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can literally just DM me over there and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. Alright guys, so before we jump into all of the technical analysis, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody subscribing to the channel. We're now at 15.4k on our way to 20,000 subs. This is absolutely crazy. And huge shout out for everybody DMing me for tips and tricks to get rid of these stupid allergies that I'm having in the season. I did get a good tweet about putting or using honey, using local honey to, I guess, get my body and my immune system, used to what exactly is going on within this season and whatever's here. I guess because I'm so used to being upstate and stuff like that, that maybe this is a transition. I'm not too sure, but I'm definitely going to look for it, and hopefully that will help with my allergies. So thank you for that comment. You know who you are. Otherwise, to move on to today's video. Yesterday we discussed, and I made a video, obviously you can see any moment now, XRP, Ripple, and Bitcoin are about to see that big movement, that big price explosion. You can see it was very crystal clear here. Now, obviously, normally when I show you guys the thumbnails or when I show you big movement after sideways consolidation, it's usually just flatlined out. We're not seeing too much of the flatlined movement just yet within Bitcoin and XRP, and that's fine for right now, and I want to show you guys exactly why, so you're not fully confused as to what I'm referring to. But before I jump into the technical analysis over there, I do just want to look at the current coin market cap. We're really not seeing a ton of sideways movement just yet, but as I've discussed, and I've discussed it every single day on the channel for the past week, the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market have really not been showing big signs of volume change. In the past 24 hours, there's really not much. We've been seeing no more than like 1% across the board. Bitcoin really not showing much movement. Ethereum flatlined, XRP 0.2. There's nothing really above 0.1 in the top 10 cryptos except for Tezos, or above 1% in the top 10 cryptos. So that's interesting to me. That's an interesting thing that you guys should be factoring into the equation when deciding to do your trades. Now for Bitcoin, this is what is fairly interesting and concerning. A lot of these cryptos, actually, now that we're getting a good look at them. So we'll start with Litecoin just really quickly. Obviously, we've discussed this yesterday. I'll discuss it today, that it looks like we're doing very well since March. We had March, we got into April, we got into May, and then boom, crash hits, we break through our uptrend and we fall below it, and now we're starting to use it as a resistance. You can see we're slowly channeling it up, but instead of acting as a support for the bottom, it's acting as a resistance for the top, or a price ceiling right now. So we can't actually get above that price ceiling. Used to be a price floor, now it's a price ceiling. And being able to break below that allowed us to go into an area where I truly believe is more bearish than bullish. And the fact that we're getting closer to what appears to be this middle ear, this is the gap that closes closer to, July, in the massive weekly symmetrical triangle that's been forming on the coin. And I'll show you that really quick, just so you guys are familiar with what it is I'm talking about. You can see, boom, that's the massive symmetrical triangle. The uptrend, the downtrend, all coming to this point right here. So I'm not too worried. I do think it's just some short-term movement right now, but I am very on edge about which direction this coin's going to go. I think there's a lot of resistance up here with everything. We have maybe, today's the 20th, maybe about a week left of this movement, maybe if not before then. And I'm honestly anticipating a drop that could send us down to about 37. So be mindful of this if you are holding on to Litecoin. I do believe the market looks like it wants to head lower. Now for Bitcoin, let's talk about it on DueDEX. Again, huge shout out to everybody supporting me on my Patreon for all my trades, stop losses, leverages, market risk management trades, shorts, things like that. All of that is shared on my Patreon. We're almost moving to 90 now, which is absolutely wild. So thank you for supporting me on there. You know who you are, and check it out if you haven't already. It's a great community to get involved in. Now, in regards to DueDEX, so we've been tracking this coin for a while now. And you can see that we've had this resistance bar, this yellow downtrend. And you can see every time we come close to it, like I say, we break bearish. This is the first weekly candle. Now, bear in mind, it's just Wednesday. We have until Sunday before we flip or see any sort of direction. This is the first weekly candle where we've actually closed above here and are now starting a candle, above it. Now, I said on my Bitcoin chart yesterday, we could very easily just go like this, and I don't really see why not. As you guys know, at least when first starting in cryptocurrency, it is very apparent that if you want a good solid downtrend or good solid line, you have to use 3 key points of resistance or 3 key points of support, and they have to be at the candle and not at the wick. So I only had 2 previously. This was the 3rd, that's why I drew it a little lower. You could easily just slide it up ever so slightly, and that could be in reference to hitting resistance now at this current price range. You do have to consider lower highs are coming in. The last high was at 11,700. The next one was 10.4. Now we're kind of seeing 9.7. So these are becoming higher lows or lower highs. Every single time the highs are getting lower and lower. There is also a downtrend here. I don't think I really need to draw this. It's really not that important, and we're not really going to be using that, so I'm just going to delete it. We can do that technical analysis on the Bitcoin trading view chart, but this does, to me, seem apparent that I am getting ready to short the coin, and you guys should probably take advantage of that too. If you haven't already signed up for DueDEX, I'd recommend taking advantage of it now. Totally free to sign up, and they even offer some Bitcoin giveaway, like some Bitcoin sign-up bonuses up to $70. So the website's totally free. I have about 0.23 Bitcoin in this account right now, and I am, as I said yesterday, I am preparing myself for the next run. So I've loaded my account already. You can see here, totally free. They gave me a little bit of sign up bonus to play around with. And when the market deems viable to short, which it will be, I think, very soon, and I'll update you guys specifically with my trades on Patreon, I'm going to short the crap out of this market because I do believe we are bound to head down. Very simple, enter the quantity. If you're leveraging it by 10 times and you have 0.2 available, let's say that's 2,000. Right, so 2,000 is 0.20. Let's do 23. 23 is practically the same thing you can see here, but because we have leverage 10 times, I could really leverage this by $5,000. 0.5 notional value, even though it's available of that, but because I'm leveraging it 10 times, they give me the buying power 10 times more than what I actually have deposited in my margin account. So I can sell short on that, and I can make the profit off of it. I could also make the losses off it. Obviously, as you guys know, the higher the leverage, the higher the risk. Just remember that. But you can see even on Bitcoin too, this is what was alarming to me. This is now another day. You can see. So 3 days ago on the 18th, today is the 20th. So 1, 2, 3. That's weird. Regardless, this is the 20th, the 19th, the 18th. So there's really 3 candles here for the 3 days. But you can see 2 days ago, the 18th, we had a big candle form slightly above the resistance. And you can see uncertainty. We had a very, very uncertain candle. The bulls and the bears opened. We shot all the way up to 10,000, all the way down to 93. We closed practically where we opened. Same thing kind of applies with yesterday's candle. Very big movements, very big wicks, and we closed right where we opened. Looks like the same thing is happening today. So that is definitely a signal to me like the bulls are losing their grip, and there's a good chance we're going to flip bearish and head lower. That is alarming. That is something you guys have to consider when trading here. And as you know, as I've said in video after video, this may be the last couple of days before we see a reversal in the price and we tumble down to point E. completing D to E. We did C to D. This was 3 months, March, April, May. All of that is a bullish 3-month move, but now I think it's time for the reversal to the downside. It could be much closer or it could be much longer. Depends on how we go, but regardless, I do believe we're going to start to see a reversal. The second it does, I'm going to be shorting Bitcoin specifically on DueDEX, and we'll go from there. I apologize for not talking about XRP a little bit sooner, but for those of you interested in XRP, same thing applies. This is huge, guys. This is a huge sign of a reversal. You can see we're trying to reattempt breaking above the minimal moving average and the downtrend. It looks like we're hitting a little bit of resistance here. Good chance it's going to correct downwards. There's a good chance it's going to get rejected from these prices here, and we're going to pull back down to 18 cents, 0.187. Consider that when trading. I know that's short, but this is a beautiful sign of a correction needed. Clear resistance up here. Now it's still a resistance, so I do believe we're going to reject this and fall even lower on XRP. Otherwise, I believe that's going to wrap up today's video, guys. Definitely make sure to check out DueDEX and my Patreon down in the description below. They do help support the channel. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Turn on post notification, leave a giant thumbs up. It does help the YouTube algorithm. And follow me on Twitter at CryptoTheOfficial, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.